Hi my music lovers, welcome back to my channel or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Gabi and today we are talking about different versions of the Weekend Whip from LEGO Ninjago. So the Weekend Whip was used in many seasons of the LEGO Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu and it has a lot of different versions. So the remixes used in the show's intros often differ slightly from the full versions, which can be heard in the SoundCloud playlist released by The Fold, containing every intro version of the Weekend Whip. So basically, when you go to Spotify or YouTube or wherever you're listening to music, when you listen to this song, like the full version, you usually cannot hear the exact fragment that was used in the intros. And that's because usually in the end of the intro, you can hear different versions of the main Ninjago overture melody at the end, which is not present in the Fold's version. And it happened a lot of times, but there are exceptions, like Rebooted, Possession, and The Hands of Time. So every other intro version had this Ninjago overture at the end, but not Rebooted, Possessions, and The Hands of Time. So let's go to the first version that was released in 2012, and it's called The Weekend Whip. And it's 3 minutes and 26 seconds long, and The Weekend Whip is the original version of the theme song for LEGO Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu, performed by The Fold. It was used in the intro for the first 2 seasons and in the credits from the pilot episodes. An early version of the song, the 2011 demo version, was sung by The Fold's Dan Cassidy, and it was used from Way of the Ninja to The Snake King. And though it remained unreleased until years later, now we can hear it. And an updated version mixed by Chris Lord Algie, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, was released in 2011 and titled The Chris Lord Algie Mix. In its 2012 re-release, was used from TikTok to The Forgotten Element, and an even earlier demo version sung by musical director Jeppy Riederwold, oh my god, was recorded in 2010. One of the 2 demos was included in the bonus disc of the complete Ninjago discography of The Fold in 2018. In the music video for the song, the members of The Fold were red, blue, black, and white, and it was a reference to the ninja's elemental colors. The video also features a young boy wearing green, and it was a reference to Lloyd. Ninja, ninja, come on, we're gonna do it again. We'll just jump up, kick back, whip around and spin. Ninja, ninja, come on, into the weekend whip. Kick back, do it again and spin. The second version is The Weekend Whip, Michael AM 2014 remix, and it's 4 minutes and 17 seconds long, and it was used in season 3, Rebooted, and in Decoded. So in addition to being used in Rebooted intro, this remix appeared in the Rebooted set's products animation, and this is the first Weekend Whip remix to be officially released. And The Fold was not involved in creating this remix, and this version went as the longest Weekend Whip to be released for the whole 9 years, until the release of the Crystalized Whip in 2023. Ninja! 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 Come on, we're gonna do it again. We'll just jump up, kick that whip around and spin. Ninja! Jump up, kick that whip around and spin. Next we have the Weekend Whip Anacondrai remix from 2014, and it's 2 minutes and 24 seconds long. And this remix is also called by the fans the Anacondrai Whip, so that's cool. That's a cool name. I would have named that song this way instead of this long title. And the prominent drums in the song reference the Anacondrai cultists who ceremonially play drums, which is crazy. I didn't know that before I did research for this video. And this song is also played instrumentally in the second vehicle montage in the Ninjago Decoded episode Vehicles and Mechs. The next one is the Ghost Whip from 2015, and it's 3 minutes and 47 seconds long. And this is my favorite Weekend Whip ever. Don't change my mind. Although I am curious what is your favorite, so you can leave a comment and say what's your favorite version of the Weekend Whip. But let's go to the Ghost Whip. And the Ghost Whip is a remix by Kruger Sound, and again I hope I'm saying that right, and it was used for the intro in the 5th season, Possession. And I think it's also my favorite season, so that's probably also why I love this song so much. And this is the first Weekend Whip remix to not have the word weekend in the name. So the Ghost Whip, there is no weekend. And the Fold was not involved in creating this remix. And the Ghost Whip is a true remix, as opposed to the other remixes, as the original vocals were placed over the new track. Which is why Dan Cassidy from The Fold is not able to perform the Ghost Whip as he can other songs, because it's too difficult to do live. This is the only version of the Weekend Whip so far to have its intro appearance include lyrics beside the chorus that begin, "They say, go slow." I couldn't just say it. I needed to sing it. Yeah. So, section before the chorus. And this song is played instrumentally in the 2 technology montages in the Ninjago Decoded episode. So yeah, again, in Decoded. And unlike the Michael AM 2014 remix, the Anacondrai remix, and the Pirate Whip, which I will be talking about next, this remix was not featured in any capacity in the product animations for its season's set. The next one is the Pirate Whip from 2016, and it's 3 minutes long. And it was used in season 6, Skybound. And the lines, "What shall we do with the pirate's ninja," that can be heard in the full version, are parody of "What shall we do with the drunken sailor?" And this is the first remix of the Weekend Whip to have re-recorded lyrics. And in demo version of the song, the lyrics "It's time for training and we're getting started" is used, which was later replaced "Monday morning and we're getting started" in the final version. While the released version uses electric guitar in the intro, the version used in the TV series used a different instrument, and it was possibly a sitar. And according to Dan Cassidy from The Fold, this was the first Weekend Whip remix to be remixed by the band themselves. And this song was featured at the beginning of the product animation for the Skybound sets. Next, we have the Rift Whip from 2016, and it's 4 minutes long, and it was supposed to be used in the Day of the Departed, which is a special episode of Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu, but it was used only in instrumental version, so we cannot hear the song itself in the Day of the Departed. You can obviously listen to the song in any platform you go to, but in the special episode we can only hear a instrumental version, and this is the only Weekend Whip to be used only in instrumental version, and it was used only once. So yeah. So the next version is the Temporal Whip from 2017, and it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds long, and the Temporal Whip remix was used for the 7th season, which I believe it's Hands of Time, but if I'm wrong, I'm gonna show you the name somewhere here. But I think I'm right. Dan and George Cassidy's sister, Becky Hayes, sang the female part of the Temporal Whip. And I think it's the first version of the Weekend Whip that has any female vocals in it, so that's also cool. And the Temporal Whip is played instrumentally in the intro for the Meet the Ninja videos. It is also used in the first vehicle montage and in the credits of the Ninjago Decoded episode Vehicles and Mechs. And this was the last Weekend Whip remix released for over 2 years, eventually followed by the Wicked Whip. Dan Cassidy said the band had injected their punk rock roots into this remix. So next we have a over 2-year time jump, and we go to the Wicked Whip from 2019, which is 3 minutes and 5 seconds long. And the Wicked Whip was used in season 11, which I believe it's Secrets of Forgotten Spinjitzu, and I'm sorry, I may not remember those names of the seasons because I watched Ninjago in Polish, and the names differ slightly, and I'm trying to translate them in my head and say it right. So sorry for that, but this is the second Weekend Whip remix to have additional lyrics, first being the Pirate Whip. And the title, The Wicked Whip, was not based on the season itself. Rather, it was a title idea the band had already, and the cover artwork with the ninja in their forbidden Spinjitzu forms, along with the remix having some elements of the metal genre, convinced Dan Cassidy to use it for this version of the song. And then we also have the Miracle Whip, which was also released in 2019, and it's 2 minutes and 13 seconds long. And the Miracle Whip is a scrapped remix of the Weekend Whip for the season Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu, and it was reworked into and replaced with the Wicked Whip. So yeah, the first was the Miracle Whip, and then Default transformed it to the Wicked Whip. And the Miracle Whip is the only whip so far that has 2 almost identical parts for most of the song.
They say no, no. We say no. Whip around and spin. Whip around
we have the Arcadian Whip from 2020, which is 3 minutes and 37 seconds long. And I also really like this version, to be honest. I feel like it's my number 3, let's say. And the Arcadian Whip was used in the 12th season, which was Prime Empire. And I definitely remembered that and didn't need to check. Yeah. Well. And the funny thing is, it was called the same in Polish. So the Arcadian Whip was originally going to be called the 64-bit whip or the chip whip, which I'm really thankful they didn't name this song that way, because the Arcadian Whip is a whole lot better. I'm sorry, but it's true. And the word Arcadian does not traditionally refer to arcades or video games. It describes something rural, rustic, or pastoral, especially suggesting simple, innocent contentment. And Dan Cassidy described this song as, what if After the Blackout was a remix of the Wicked Whip? So the next one is the Shintaro Dungeon Whip from 2020, and it's 3 minutes and 18 seconds long, and the Shintaro Dungeon Whip was used for the intro in season 13, Master of the Mountains, I believe. And also a Christmas version of this particular remix was created entitled The Christmas Whip, and it was incorporating the Christmas carol, Carol of the Bells. That's crazy. So yeah, we have the melody of the Shintaro Dungeon Whip with Carol of the Bells. I listened to it. I found it when I was doing research for this video, and I almost died laughing on the floor because I didn't expect I will ever hear a Christmas version of the Wicked Whip. But okay. The Shintaro Dungeon Whip has the longest Wicked Whip title, not counting the first 2 remixes. So the Shintaro Dungeon Whip was also the first Wicked Whip to mention elemental powers, previously done in 21st Century Ninja. And also, the Shintaro Dungeon Whip took 21 days to be released after first being heard in the episode Into the Dark. In the 13th episode of the Fall's Weekly Whip series, Dan revealed that this song originally was going to be named the Shintaro Whip, until Tommy Anderson suggested adding the word dungeon to the name. So the next released version of the Wicked Whip was the Christmas Whip, also released in 2020, and it is 2 minutes and 21 seconds long, and the Christmas Whip is a remix of the Shintaro Dungeon Whip. So yeah, and it's incorporating the classic Christmas carol, Carol of the Bells. And what can I say about this version? Well, it exists, and it's really interesting. The song coins the new terms such as crisp whip and whipmas. Yeah, like there's Merry 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 Whipmas in the song. That's really interesting. Yeah, let's go to the next one. So I was doing research for this video a long time ago because I didn't post anything for over 2 months here. I'm so sorry for that. But I remember that I was really happy that I didn't record this video because I thought the Crystalized Whip, which I will be talking about right now, is going to be the last weekend whip that I'm going to talk about in this video, but no, it is not the last right now. So let's go to the Crystalized Whip. It is 4 minutes and 39 seconds long and it was released in 2023. The Crystalized Whip, also known as the Crystal Whip, is a remix of the Weekend Whip, the theme song for LEGO Ninjago, obviously. And it was used in the intro for the 15th season, and it was the final season of the main series, because we also have right now the other one, so it's fine. The Ninjago didn't end it on the Crystalized Whip, okay? Actually, the Crystalized Whip is the first remix to include a fan choir as revealed in the Fold's YouTube channel. So that's amazing. And the Fold are not credited for the Crystalized Whip in the credits of Crystalized, as most of its production was done by the show's composers. So actually the Crystalized Whip was not really created by the Fold. And this version also combines the lyrics of the Weekend Whip with the tune of the overture. This makes it the only Weekend Whip to have the overture involved in any manner. This remix took the longest to be released, as it took almost a year to be released on music platforms, since it was originally heard in the show. This remix took the longest to be released, as it took almost a year to be released on music platforms, since it was originally heard in the show. And there is no version of this Weekend Whip without the fan choir, meaning that this version can easily have two variants. And when the original 4 ninja jump up, kick back, whip around and spin, I really wanted to say that in this video, and now I can, to get their dragon forms, a grand instrumental orchestra plays, and it sounds like it's meant to fit in after the fan choir part ends. And finally, the Weekend Whip 15th anniversary mix from 2026. It's 3 minutes and 6 seconds long and it's amazing. And it's different because there are actors singing the song, like the voice actors from the TV series. I'm gonna put the names somewhere here probably. But yeah, the Weekend Whip is a remix of the theme song performed by the ninja. And in the music video, we can see all of the ninja, Master Wu, obviously, but we can also see Pythor, Garmadon, and Asphira, Dareth, and Misako. So it is basically a time travel. We travel back in time and we can see all of those people and it's amazing. And it sounds really good, to be honest. So yeah, that's the latest version of the Weekend Whip for the 15th anniversary. I can't believe that Ninjago is 15 years old. That's crazy. Because it means that the first episode of the Ninjago was released when I was 5 years old. My mind is blown.
Jump back to it again. Ninjago, Ninjago, come on, we're gonna do it again. We just jump up, kick back, whip around and spin, and then we jump back to it again. Ninjago, Ninjago.
So now let's talk overall about all of these versions. I told you about 14 versions of the Weekend Whip, and the Weekend Whip was not used in all of the seasons. So the Sons of Garmadon is the first season that does not have a remix of the Weekend Whip. The second season to not have the remix is Haunted, and the third one is March of the Oni, and the fourth is Seabound. So 4 seasons didn't include the Weekend Whip in the intros. And in Sons of Garmadon, the melody of the chorus, jump up, kick back, whip around and spin, plays in the first few seconds, but just few seconds, and then it changes. And according to Tommy Anderson, the song was not included because it would not match the season's tone. And specifically, he noted that a positive poppy song would not fit the beginning of the episode Dead Man's Squeal, which began with Zayn apparent death. And I totally agree with this. I don't think that the poppy song like The Weekend Whip would fit March of the Oni or Sons of Garmadon or Haunted. I don't know about Seabound. I think Seabound could have had some kind of Weekend Whip version. I think it would be cool. But I totally understand the decision to not include the Weekend Whip in those seasons. And March of the Oni is the only season to not have the Weekend Whip played either in the intros or in the show itself, because in the other seasons like Sons of Garmadon or Haunted or Seabound, we can hear the Weekend Whip somewhere in the episodes, like the ninja singing it or something like that. But March of the Oni is the only season to not include any kind of Weekend Whip in the whole season, which I think is okay because March of the Oni was like 4 episodes. So yeah, obviously I need to talk about that Ninjago Confidential episode in season 12. It was perfecto. Ninjago Confidential used a jazz remix of the Weekend Whip composed by Jay Vincent, known as the Noir Whip. I'm not French and I probably killed what I said right now. But yeah.
Ninjago Confidential.
So basically, there are a lot of versions of the Weekend Whip. There are like piano versions and stuff like that, which I didn't talk about today. But I think it's enough of the Weekend Whip. If you want, you can say in the comments how many times in this video I said Weekend Whip or whip itself. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It really helps out my channel more than you think. And you can also go to my other platforms like TikTok or Instagram, where I also post a few things different than here. So yeah, you can go check it out and see you in my next video. Bye!